Welcome back to another Habs Daily News with your hockey coach guru called Frenchy. Today, episode number 117 already, year number 3, day number 2. Amazing so far. And what do you have on the menu today, coach? I'm going to give you guys my 10 top prospect Montreal Canadiens to watch for the upcoming season. Then I'm going to maybe add a little bit more players. Then I'm going to talk about finally of the contract of KIRBY DACH again because we heard something from Elliot Friedman. And finally, at the end, we're going to talk about the NHL news around the league. So don't go nowhere. But before we start, you know the drill. You know how this works. Please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation live show, and finally leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about the episode 117. And let's dive in talking about the first subject of the day. So the first subject of the day, guys, this is my list of the 10 prospects for the Montreal Canadiens I'm going to watch for the upcoming year. 2022-2023. I can't wait to watching them for sure. And I'm going to report to you every single week about them. First of all, let's talking about the first one. They are not like a 10 to the 1 or the 1 to the 10. I just give you 10 strength players. First of all, on this list, guys, you don't go to find Gerard Sarkowski, Caden Coley, Jordan Harris, and Justin Barron, because some of them is going to be part of the Montreal Canadiens roster for the upcoming year. And I think we already know what they look like. Focus more on the one a little bit below of them. So the first one is Philippe Mézard. Mézard was drafted by the Montreal Canadiens 2022 draft, 26 overall pick. The Slovakia players is going to join the Montreal Canadiens for the main camp and the rookie camp. I believe he's going to be going down at some point. He's going to be cut. He's going to play for the upcoming year in the OHL for the Kitchener Rangers. The 5'10", 175 pounds shoot on the right. It will be interesting to watching him this year play in the North America. What he's going to look like in the smaller rink, how he's going to performing for the Rangers for upcoming year. The second player I want to talk about is Raphael Harvey Pinard, the Brendan Gallagher 2.0, played for the Laval Rocket last season, have a great year overall with them. He's really knocking the door to play in NHL because the situation in Montreal with so many forward, I don't see him to be a part of the roster for upcoming year, but he could not be surprised if he play a couple of games during the season with the Montreal Canadiens. It's someone we have to follow up. The 23 years old now is really where at his age to step up, become really the leader of this team in American Hockey League, the Laval Rocket. Third player I want to talk about is Emil Henneman. Henneman was part of the trade between the Calgary Flame and the Montreal Canadiens for Tyler Toffoli. We know he was drafted by the Florida Panthers a couple of years ago. 22 years old now, come from Sweden, play for the Laval Rocket for upcoming year. This is someone now he have to step up to see what he look like and how he can become a professional hockey player in NHL possible. So he's someone we are going to be very close to watch for the upcoming year. The next one is Jan Mysak, the 20 years old, played last season with the Hamilton Bulldogs, participate to the Memorial Cup, and of course participate for the World Junior Championship during the holidays and during the summer. He was the captain of the team SASCHA, have an amazing, great tournament last couple of weeks ago, was a part of the All-Star team at the end. Listen, he's another player now. He's going to play for the Laval Rocket at 21 years old, going to turn 21. Will be interesting to follow up. We know he's a center. Montreal Canadiens have a couple of center, but not a lot on the offensive side. Can he become a bottom six regular player in NHL? And I can wait to watching him with the Laval Rocket. The next player I want to talk about is Joshua Roy, another player played in the World Junior Championship a couple of weeks ago. Have an amazing, great tournament for the Team Canada, won the gold medal, was most of the time on the first line, really played very well beside Mason McDavid, who have an amazing, great season last year with the Sherbrooke Phoenix. We expect him to become the captain for the team for the upcoming year. It's another one I expect maybe his productivity offensive is going to be a little bit lower, but he's really focusing now on the development to become a two-way player. Could play now two different positions, center and a winger. It's another one player we're going to watch for the upcoming year. The next one is the Lane Hudson. Hudson is going to play now for the NCAA for the Boston University as the defenseman. We know Hudson played for Team USA U18 last season. He was sharing his time with USHL for the team national. Have an amazing, great year with that team. We know his characteristic is because he is only 5'8" and only 155 pounds. But other this, he's an amazing skater, an amazing players. He have an amazing stick angling, great hand, great vision. Is all about the transition. Will be interesting what he look like, how he's going to maybe gain some gain about a muscle mass and maybe get a little bit taller. But it's another player we're going to watch for the upcoming year. The next one is Vincent Rohrer. The guy born Austria, was drafted by the Montreal Canadiens in the NHL draft 2022. Listen, he was 75 overall pick. Is play for his first year this year in OHL. He's going to play his second year for his upcoming season. It's another great center, really oriented on the offensive side of the game. Now, he's still a little bit small, but it's another one project of Austria country where he's going to follow up maybe the same road like Marco Rossi. It will be interesting for him now. He knows exactly what he looked like to play in North America, what kind of productivity on the offensive he's going to bring to us for the upcoming year. The next one is Logan Mailloux. Obviously, he's still bothered by his shoulder injury. We know he got a surgery a couple of months ago. Still not at 100%. Someone we have to follow up for sure. Mailloux could maybe missing the training camp for the London Knights for the OHL and possible the beginning of the season. We know he did not sign any contract with the Montreal Canadiens. He was drafted 31 overall pick in 2021 by the Montreal Canadiens. The next player is Owen Beck. Beck was drafted by the Montreal Canadiens, 33 overall pick in 2022. Have an amazing, great year last season in OHL. Beck is like another Patrice Bergeron style, where he's really smart hockey player, great vision, great skater. He play a two-way player. It's another one we have to follow up. I expect him to have a little bit better on the productivity on the offensive side. Great face-off man, one of the top best face-off percentage last year in the Canadian Hockey Junior overall. Beck have a lot of things. It does very well on the details of the game, like a Montreal Canadien like to call this game like a 200 feet game. I think Beck is one of the best prospects, played that game very well. The next one is Sean Farrell. Farrell returned for the second year in NCAA with the Harvard University College. We know he have an amazing, great world championship with the Team USA. Sean is another player, very small, 5'8", 5'9". Need to step up a little bit more about his muscle mass. And we'll be interested to watching him again. He's a really smart hockey player, great vision, great skater. He can score. He's a finisher. He's a playmaker. And now with his second year NCAA, I think he could become a better player overall. Then I want to talk about the goaltender we talked yesterday, Frederic Tichot. Play now for the Finlanda and the SHL for the upcoming year. The 22 years old now. He's where he's need to step up his game, need to get better overall. It's someone going to follow up or for sure with Finlanda for the upcoming year. I want to mention two other players I'm going to watch for the upcoming year. I'm talking about Luke Tuck. Luke Tuck have a really miserable year last season with the Boston University College NCAA. He was obviously with two injury, have a difficult time to come back stronger and better. A little bit better at the beginning of January, but not good enough to have a really good year. Listen, he's a second-round pick for the Montreal Canadiens 2020. Now is a time for him to step up his game if he have an opportunity to play at some point in the NHL. We know he's the brother of Alex Tuck for the Buffalo Sabres. Finally, my last one I want to talk about is Arbor Ejak, the big 6'4", played with at the end of the year in the OHL with the Hamilton Bulldogs. Have an amazing, great playoff all the way to the Memorial Cup. Arbor and a solid defenseman, play physical, have a great year overall on the offensive side of his game. Will be interesting to watching him is the development for the upcoming year. I expect him to play with the Laval Rocket, but again, it's another one was undrafted, and we'll be interested what Arbor is going to do for the upcoming year, 2022 and 2023. This complete, guys, my list of my 10 prospect plus 2 for the upcoming year. I'm going to watch and going to report everything about them during the season to you with the Habs Daily News. And let's move on now for the next subject of the day. I want to talk about Kirby DACH because I listening the 32 Top with Alien Filman yesterday, and he talked about the fact like the deal is done between DACH and Montreal Canadiens. Is just waiting a couple of days before they will be announced. Why? Because they expect Montreal Canadiens make a move before they announce this contract. So it will be something to follow up for sure. Would be interesting what Ken Hughes can do with the next move before he signed Kirby Dach. We expect his contract was announced last week by Eric Angel, a 4-year contract at $3.5 million for a total of $14 million. Let's move on now for the last subject of the day. It's all about the NHL news around the league. We don't have a lot of things to talk about, honestly. We don't have any signature, but we talk about the NHLPA Rookie Showcase, sponsored by Upper Deck, where they produce the hockey card, and they invite all the rookies to come for the full day with them, take a picture, sign a lot of autograph for different items, and then they have some kind of interview with each player. So Jared Stokowski and Shane Wright was part of the 27 player participate of this day, and Stokowski was really excited about this day, and he really enjoyed it. And he mentioned, said, look, this is really impressive to reconnect with many other players around. You have other players like then Shane Wright was another one. Then we have Owen Power reconnect with Marie Bernier for the Michigan University, and other was a part of this day, NHLPA Rookie Showcase. This is the only news we have for you guys around the league for NHL news today with the hockey coach, Coach FRENCHY. Here we go, guys. This completes the episode number 117. Hopefully you enjoy it. Before we leave, we invite you, don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, sharing this video, and leave me a comment about this episode. But before we leave, we want to remind you, you have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, blessing day, everybody.